Why do some professional service providers make it so difficult? So, as a general matter, I understand why the public would want to bash attorneys, would want to bash CPAs, and just about anything you can say negative about CPAs and their personalities can be said about attorneys as well. We're too conservative. We think everything is black and white. We only do things certain ways, and all the rest of it. So I'm certainly not here to bash CPAs in general, and I've got a lot of great referral partners and friends that are CPAs, and I think they do a great job. Unfortunately, sometimes we can all, be accused of resorting to what we know or feel comfortable with. But here was a particularly difficult situation for me to get through, and we're all hoping and just kind of crossing our fingers this was this guy's way of saying don't mess with me during tax season, and once he comes up for breath, he might be able to figure out a better way to deal with this. But essentially what we had, without giving away any sort of client confidential information, essentially what we had was an agreement between a borrower and a lender. There's private parties. One was a business seller, one was a business buyer, and there was some financing involved, seller financing involved. So we had an agreement to repay this debt, and the legal guidance, the legal question was asked of me of, is there a way to document this in a certain way? I said, certainly, absolutely no problem doing that. Gave it my blessing, wrote up the documents, documented it accordingly, and the accountant on the buyer side said he just didn't like this and would not document it accordingly. And it's just very interesting because in the beginning, this was the same guy that said, oh yeah, we can do this, but we just need legal documentation for it. His client went out and got that legal documentation, and then the CPA says, no, we can't do this. So just very interesting to me, and I'm not quite sure why he took that position. I think, hopefully, that he thinks that he's looking out for the client's best interest. I'm not quite sure, since it was his client that wanted the transaction to go in exactly this way, and actually sought out a creative arrangement from the seller, and they came to me with the deal in hand and said, can we do it this way? And I said, for sure, not an issue. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday, and prepare the documents for them. So I just, want to get out there to the professional service providers too. Is it, why is it so difficult at times, and why can't we all just put our heads together collectively to work for our clients and come up with the right answer, right? And the right answer is not necessarily what we think as practitioners. It's the right answer for the client that they are seeking. As long as we know that we've complied with our ethics, that we've complied with the law, that we're in compliance with any sort of regulations that may apply, or any sort of private, legal arrangements and contracts or anything like that, why is it that we can't do what the client asks? And I would ask that to other professional service providers, and I would also ask just the general public, our audience, to comment on this, because I'm curious to know if anyone else has had these same type of issues where they just hit an absolute roadblock with their professional service providers. This is uncommon to me. I've had some hard discussions, and not always the easiest of strategy planning sessions with CPAs, bankers, lawyers, whatever it may be, financial planners. Everyone that is a seasoned professional certainly digs in and understands, that they have their position. But I've never had a situation where one CPA is saying it's fine, the attorney is giving I'm giving my stamp of approval on the legalities of it, and then the other CPA is just saying, no, we can't do that. So I'm curious to hear anybody comment if they've had the same or similar experience, and just start a discussion about it, just because I'm curious all the way around.